Good evening, good evening, good evening.
And I say hello, Selfians.
So this is part two of our me and Mr. Haynie's conversation. Last time, which was what? How long ago was that? We talked maybe about 90 days ago or so.
About that, yes.
You know, he wanted to interview me, and this time I said, "Hey, can I interview you?" So, you know, Kennard Haynie will be doing most of the talking, hopefully, today. You know, I can still run my mouth at times. But I really wanted to ask you to get started. We already know about how we met, and you've given the story and certain other things. I guess the question that I have for you is, how has your experience been since we started working together?
Great question. So, and I was just telling my middle daughter about this. And my oldest daughter and every one of my kids. I have 5 kids. So it is my goal, desire, focus that what I've learned from you, I will be passing on to my kids now while they are alive, that they put these methodologies, these philosophies, these practices into action for themselves, that they take these steps, that they, as our friend and mentor Lambo Drew says, that they make these plays now for their lives so that they can spend the rest of their lives living the way that they imagine that they want to live. Because for me, and this is a long answer to your question, what I learned from you starting 2 years ago now has changed my life. So I'm in this amazing car. I have a home now after having my first home foreclosed on, and not really understanding equity and credit and leverage and really being financially literate. I wasn't. Now that I'm in that process, it just continues to grow and evolve. The possibilities become limitless. Time becomes exponential as far as it's almost like there's no measure to time now for me, because concepts I'm seeing work in reality. Understanding investments and continuing to grow and increase my financial literacy. How has it been? It's been life-changing for me. So having investments and just learning what I'm learning and applying is just as exciting as the results of taking action to what I'm learning and applying. And now, simultaneously, I'm shifting that over to my children and getting them to take action on these things. I was just having this conversation with my youngest son on Thursday this past week, and I said to him, imagine you living in a home that you own. You have a room that is the classroom for your daughter, my granddaughter Nova, and you have hired a homeschool teacher so that she could do the homeschool teaching. In your home, you have a studio because he's a rapper, and you have a recording studio in your home. So while your daughter is being homeschooled by a teacher you've employed, because you have the cash flow and you understand credit and you've maximized your credit and you have investments and you own businesses, you can live this way. And so you're recording your music, you're honing your craft. Then you have an inspiration room in your house, and you can just sit there and just write and think about life and whatever else motivates you to rap about what you rap about. That's in your house. And then for field trips, you and Nova, along with the homeschool teacher and a nanny, are going to visit the Parthenon or whatever it is the school trip, the school lesson is talking about. You could actually go there with Nova and have the cash flow and the resources and the financial literacy to make all these things a reality in your life. And you can do it now. Now, so I'm 58. I just learned these concepts 2 years ago once I met Jamal, that started to apply these things. I remember having a friend talk to me about years ago. Shout out to you, Randy. And Randy was talking about insurance. Randy was talking about having a mortgage, and I just couldn't understand why he kept talking about it and saying I needed these things. And maybe because I looked at it like as competition, and I'm like, I got to do it my way. I don't know what the answers and the reasons why back then I wasn't receiving what he was sharing with me about why I needed a mortgage till now. So fast forward, long answer. Kyle, KJ, my sons, my daughters, you need to get this now and do it so that you will have longer to benefit from it, number one, but also so that you understand these concepts so that then you can pass it on to your children, my grandchildren, and we can keep the legacy going. So that's how it's been since we last talked.
That's been a mouthful, Ken. So you mentioned something about time.
Mm-hmm.
Can you talk a little bit more about that or explain how time has changed for you?
That's how it's changed. Immediately, so thanks to the Make More Offers challenge, and Jamal here doesn't watch TV. And what I do respect about the brother is he never judged me because I did. And that was kind of like my downtime. It's my bonding time with Kim, my wife. You know, we watch a movie together. We watch Netflix. And so combination of things, timing, receptivity, the ancient Chinese proverb. Shout out to you, Crypto Kim, where you mentioned the ancient Chinese proverb that says when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. Well, I guess it took this teacher to get me to drop TV and the combination of Dr. Myron Golden, because I wasn't ready to give up TV. I had grown up with it. It was just what I knew. It was a unconscious habit that like was foreign to me if you did otherwise, right? But I just never spent time thinking about it until the Make More Offers challenge, and then Jamal, he doesn't watch TV and he hasn't bought a TV in years. And I've heard people throughout the years mention that, and it just, okay. Well, after the Make More Offers challenge, combination of my relationship with Jamal, and then really Dr. Golden's belief is if you're broke, you shouldn't watch TV or listen to music. What's the definition of broke? $40,000 a month or less or more. If you're not making that, you're broke. Well, not there yet. So I got to give up TV. It was just easy. And except the Buckeyes and the Ravens. So, because they're both family bonding activities, right? So I'm usually watching the Buckeyes with Kim, my wife, or a friend, and then the Ravens with Kim and now our son. So those two TV events I'm hoping to get a pass on because it's a family bonding moment. But other than that, I don't watch TV. I don't miss it. I don't even listen to music now. Nothing wrong with music. I love music. And when I work out, my trainer has music playing. He has the TV on. See? A lot of people do it. But I don't, and I'll look at sports then while I'm working out because I'm on the bike, but I don't watch it and I don't miss it. And now I forgot the question I was supposed to answer.
About how
time.
Because
So I feel I've gained time now because I don't watch TV and I don't listen to music. So I spend more time listening to motivational, the Steve Harvey motivation that we got from Lambo Drew is. And my wife had been listening to Steve Harvey before me, and she really likes him. But then we got this 11-hour motivation from Lambo Drew from Steve Harvey that is blowing my mind. And shout out to you, Lambo Drew. I appreciate the 10 minutes in the morning with Kim listening to Steve Harvey and the 10 minutes at night before we go to bed. I kind of get a little bit of an attitude because I'm in bed. I got Steve Harvey queued up, and my wife's on TikTok. You know what I mean? And it's like, we're going to listen to Steve Harvey? Or we're going to do this TikTok? And then after we do Steve Harvey, I'm falling asleep to TikTok. But time. I have more of it, and I mentioned the word exponential that I was sharing with my children. And Jamal has a great breakdown on a study he did on time and what a million seconds is, right? Was it a million seconds, a billion seconds? I can't explain it. I'm going to try to here. When you start growing and start your journey and your process, of education. And we were just having a conversation earlier about the difference between education and schooling. And what this is education. What we do is education. I've never been so excited about education as I am now. Time kind of stands still. It's not a thing, and it is a thing. I'm aware of it, but but I'm not bound by it. I almost feel as though I can understand God created time and eternity, right? So however God looks at time, I'm not saying I'm God, but I'm not bound by it. I'm not ruled by it. It's not my master anymore. But I'm very aware of how precious it is. It is my most precious commodity. Really, really is, more so than money. And we all know that analogy, right? That we can prove to you how time is more important than money, because, you know, we can always replace the money, but we can't replace the time. My cousin, who Jamal knows, shout out to you, Mike Haynie, he had made a comment on a call that he and I were on, and he says he's in the twilight of his life. So time is more important to him than money. Everything is a sense of urgency to him now at this point in his life. And I like that. I took from that statement some importance, that everything I do is important now because of where I am in my life. I'm 58, but also the understanding of time that I'm gaining now, thanks to the education that I'm acquiring, the people that I'm around, the books that I'm reading. I think it was my middle daughter that just said recently, she actually, shout out to my social media producer guy, he's changing the people that he's hanging around with and his friendships, and he's really looking at those and examining those. And, you know, amen, thank you, because it does make a huge, huge difference. So again, long answer to a short question. Thanks.
Okay. So so you're saying that through some of the things that you've learned over the past year and a half, almost going on 2 years, the people that you have new associations with, that do you feel like you have more control over your time now than what you did before?
Totally.
And
that's a great question. Great point.
Can you kind of share with the people what has changed in order to start for you to feel that way?
Notice things. Well, seeing numbers, seeing numbers has changed that. I can see, I can imagine and see where I will be at any given point in the future. So that's changed. I've never been able to do that.
How is it that you're able to see that?
Well, again, numbers. You can look at numbers, but the understanding of how all these systems work together. The credit system, the spiritual system. You know, we're in a kingdom, right? Well, there is a kingdom, I believe. And the system that we operate in. You know, my job is a system, so investments are a system. Education is a system. They're all systems, and I'm not an expert in any of them, but I'm working towards becoming a learning leader in certain systems like investments and financial literacy, cryptocurrency, the metaverse. I believe I'm answering your question.
Okay, yeah. So, would you say the biggest change has been the fact that you decided to pay for a mentorship program?
Yeah, because that's what this really is, isn't it? It's like a mentorship program. I thought it was crypto and credit. I thought it was crypto and credit. Yes, the biggest change is I decided to pay for the mentorship. That's it. That is it. Because I thought it was, I decided to invest in my crypto education, but I was actually investing in a mentorship. Being
Had you ever
like
done that before?
Let's see. No.
Okay.
No, wanted to, too, which is interesting.
Okay.
I thought it was coaching.
Okay. And I'd have to say the same thing for me, folks. When I decided to pay for the mentorship with Lambo Drew, it changed my life. It opened me up to additional ideas. It exposed me to new information. It exposed me to information that I kind of knew about but could not execute on. Didn't know exactly how to execute on. And having a mentor that's willing, a good mentor that's willing to hold your hand and take you through a process, to partner with you through a process, not just tell you what to do, but to really be there with you and to help you with develop the mindset even when you don't necessarily have it initially. And I'm gonna say, there was quite a few times that Lambo would say something to me and I'd be like, really? Are you sure? Are you sure? Because what I've been taught is the total opposite.
Correct.
180 degree different, but you're telling me to do this and I will get these results that I've been looking for when I've been doing other things and not getting the results, and doing the other things I was supposed to get the results, but I was never getting them. So, yeah, this has been
really
good.
Yeah,
This has been good.
Really good.
I guess the next question I would
If you want to
say-
know, you got to come. You see it for yourself. You want to see it for yourself? Don't take my word for it.
And it all started with what? Credit maximization.
Credit
Right.
maximization, right? And crypto.
And then
Because I wanted crypto, but you initially started with credit.
Well,
but
remember
simultaneously
with
the credit.
But the book,
Right,
the first point
conspiracy
of
of credit.
interest
The conspiracy of credit. Right.
and so, individuals, folks, you got to look at these systems. That's something else that Ken said was systems. All these systems, we got to recognize them as systems. Our employment's a system, credit's a system, the monetary policy or structure is there's a monetary system. There is an investment system, which is part of that monetary system. As we learn more about these things and the truth about them, then we can actually execute properly and get the benefits that we're looking for. So Ken is in the middle of the benefits. It really impresses me that, you said you can see clearly where you're going to be at any point in time. And that comes back to, I think, as you stated, dealing with numbers. Folks, numbers is something that don't lie. There is a safety in numbers, in an understanding the system of numbers. Numbers represent order. It can represent, what's right, what's wrong, what's going on, what's not going on. It's easy to identify when you're dealing with numbers, because men lie, numbers don't lie. And God has, created this entire system of numbers and order. So, I don't know if we really want to give them a marathon like we did the very first time.
Right.
But
although it has been my most watched YouTube, so thank you.
Yeah.
Fans.
Thank you for asking me on your program.
Thank you.
And I said, hey, I got to get you on mine so I could get some of that. You've encouraged me in that aspect of dealing with these, this YouTube channel. And once again, folks, this is a give and take. I'm not an expert in everything, and we help each other. And this is part of the mentorship program. This is the relationship, actually, friendship that's being built and developed, because, it's got to start somewhere. And would you recommend the mentorship program? Because I'm trying to folks, I'm trying to get away from credit maximization. Or I should say the credit repair part of credit maximization. So, would you recommend credit maximization, mentorship to people, or any particular mentorship?
I wouldn't just recommend it. I'll now go as far as to say it's essential to your success. You won't have success without it, because we haven't been taught this deliberately. I've wanted, as long as I can remember, to be wealthy. I want it as long as I can remember. I'm not ashamed of that. I want to be rich my whole life. I went to college thinking I was going to be rich if I didn't go to college. So, and now I'm slowly unpacking that misinformation and all that. So it's not only as essential. I mean, I wouldn't just recommend a mentorship program. I insist that you have it, because you won't have success without it. Think about this, getting spiritual just for a second, right? So Jesus had disciples, right? Plato and Aristotle had favorite students, or, chosen, like they had students, but then they had students that excelled more than others, right? Any leader in history has had associates that learn from that leader, be he or she. That's a system. That's a universal principle. It doesn't change. It's a universal principle. It's a law. So you have to have it. And the miseducation, misdirectional system, as Dr. Myron Golden refers to education, which is again by design, to keep us confused and clouded and chasing the wrong direction and just focusing the attention and so-called goal over here, while really those creators over here, right, having the life that they have. And you wonder, so how do they live that way? What did they do to get that? I always wondered that, driving through nice neighborhoods, seeing people in nice cars. Like, how do they get those nice cars? How do they live in these nice houses? What do they do for a job? Where do they work? Right? Like, but that's not necessarily how they got that. Right? They just understand and applied something you don't know. And if you want to know it, and I'm learning now too, there's lots more that I don't know. Every day I realize something even more profound I don't know, I've yet to put into practice, yet to make a habit that I have to do. And focusing on me, and not in a selfish way, but I got so much work on me to do, and to learn that everybody else's struggles that's God's problem. I'm not the one to fix that. God is the one to fix that, not me. Because I did that. I judged people and character assassinated them so many times in my mind when I didn't get my way, or they didn't see things the way I was hoping or believing they could see them. It's too short. Yeah. So mentorship is essential to success. Yeah.
So I'll just encourage, you need to find somebody that you can trust, or is getting results, can work with your personality,
right?
That y'all can work together.
Really good one.
But you want to deal with a mentorship program of some sort, and there's, different areas. So you're going to have different ones. As Ken has already mentioned, he's already mentioned 3. Myself, Dr. Myron Golden, Lambo Drew. Lambo Drew has had the biggest effect upon our lives so far. And remember, as you learn and absorb, you also need to share. So, was there any last words that you really thought you need to share at this time?
Yes, thank you. What's interesting just came to my mind is, sorry about that noise. Obviously, we're in a parking lot, so this is. We'll come up with a name for this later on. These car interviews.
Conversation in the car.
Conversation in the car. The CCs. I don't know. But, so, sorry for the noise. Jamal used to tell me about, first it was his mentor, was how he referred to Lambo Drew. My mentor. because this was just the conspiracy of credit. This is going back 2 years ago. My mentor. And then, shout out to you, Blockchain Brown. Took some of your courses, loved it. And part of the foundational understanding and literacy that I have for crypto was from Blockchain Brown. Highly recommend anything he does and teaches on crypto and the metaverse. And I was continuing to hear my mentor. And I don't remember at what point it switched from my Jamal referring to his mentor to giving him a name. Because in my mind, I'm thinking, what's his name? Who is he? And I just didn't ask yet. I'm thinking, well, maybe there'll be a time when he'll tell me that, or maybe there'll be a time when I feel like I'm supposed to ask what it is, but that's okay. Cool. Mental note. My mentor. Then I think I got maybe Andrew. Before I got Andrew, I got young brother. Then it was Andrew. Now it's Lambo Drew. So it's been It's been a beautiful natural evolution progression to, Lambo Drew's my mentor now too. So mentorship. Last words. That's what I gotta say. Thank you, brother.
All right. Well, thank you for taking the time this evening. Yeah, folks, until the next time, which there will be multiple of these, because as we are on our journey, we're going to be sharing different things and having conversations about, this particular snapshot or the next snapshot. But folks, do realize that in spite of what's going on in the market out here and all the doom and gloom and the recession, money is being made, folks. So you need to figure out how to get it done.
Get yours.
We will end it there. Everyone have a wonderful, blessed weekend.
Make sure you like, subscribe, and share to my man Jamal Titus channel.
Like, subscribe,
all that
comment.
YouTube stuff.
Yeah, all that stuff. Again, I'm still trying to get mine going. I'm trying to get to where
it's going.
Ken is.
I'm trying to get mine where Lambo Drew's is.
All right, folks. Y'all have a wonderful evening, and we'll get to you the next time. Peace.